Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, we're really glad you're here and we're glad we're back after last week's break.
That's right. We are so excited to be back live with you here again. We were out last week for Thanksgiving holiday here in the US. If you celebrated, I hope it was wonderful for you. And of course, we're thrilled to have you back here with us. This is a live call that we host every single week at 2 p.m. Eastern US time. This is for you if you are a coach, if you are a consultant, if you are a service-based business, if you're a network marketer, if you create courses. AttractWell has everything that you need to manage your business and grow all in one place. And today we're going to be talking about how you can keep all of that stuff managed during the busy holiday season. So again, we're thrilled to have you here with us as you're joining in. Folks are rolling in here on Zoom. Let us know where in the world you are. We are so thrilled to have you here. We are also streaming in our Facebook group. Hello there as well. Send us a hi if you are joining us there. We're excited to be back, and we're certainly looking forward to all of the great things we're going to be sharing here today. So far, we've got North Carolina and California here in the chat. Keep it coming, you guys. We're excited to see you. All right, so Greg and I are going to pop out a video. We've got quite a bit to get into today in the world of training. There's a lot of concepts we're going to cover. I would encourage you to go ahead and turn off any distractions that you may have. Grab a pen and paper, or if you are a completely digital animal like I am, then you can certainly use a notes app or something like that if that is how you like to work. But the goal here is to remove the other distractions. This is going to be kind of a theme that you'll find today throughout this training. So go ahead and do that. And then we will get into our slides. So I'm going to pop out a video here for our recording, and we'll come back on when we are done. All right, I've got everything set up. Good to go. Okay, so today, as mentioned, we are going to talk about how to stay on track with your business through the busy holiday season. So we'll be getting on into that topic today, how to stay on track with your business when life gets busy. We're also going to talk about some of our Cyber Week deals that we still have available. Those are extended, those Black Friday promotions we've extended through the end of this week, where they will close forever. And then we do have some live help scheduled, and we have the opportunity to take Q&A, which we also can take throughout the call. So if you do have questions, if you came here looking for specific help, do go ahead into the Q&A here on Zoom and ask your questions. We can help you with anything that you need help with on a call like this one. And if you would like to join us on a call like this on Zoom, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours if you would like to attend live in the future. And if you would like to work together, if you have a specific project in mind or a problem you want to tackle, you can set aside dedicated space on a call like this one, just as someone has today. You go to attractwell.com/work review to sign up for that. And if you'd like for someone to just kind of take some of this stuff off your plate, get it done for you, you can go to attractwell.com/concierge to learn more and get started. Question for you guys. Let me know in the chat, how busy is life right now? As we are filming this, we are the week after Thanksgiving, fully into the week of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the shopping deals, all the big promotions, looking to close the year in the black. And of course, position ourselves for a good start to the coming year, and hopefully get a little bit of downtime, family time, eat some good food, etc. Celebrate if you do. So how busy is life for you? What does that look like? So we're going to talk about today. I see some of you guys are super busy. Let's talk about how we can get it all done without creating more stress. So we're going to talk today about how to keep things humming through the holidays without wearing yourself out. Here's what this will entail. This is a high-level overview. You don't have to write these things down. We will be addressing these things in order, though. So the first thing we're going to do is get clear on what our goals are for the rest of the year. And we're going to go at this from a high-level perspective. We're not going to break down the to-do list, because it's actually really important, if you want to manage yourself better, to categorize your labor differently, to categorize the projects and the things that you focus on differently, because too often we show up in our business and we take up a lot of time, but we can't necessarily account for how that time was spent and what of those actions might have even moved the needle for us, right? So we're going to go high level with that, and then we're going to set a plan based on our goals with clear actions defined. From there, we will block off our work time apart from all other work and batch our work as we work the plan that we create. And then finally, we're going to talk about how we can make our schedule sacred so we can keep it and we can have our work really do the things we need our work to do for us. So, what are your top level objectives for the remainder of this year? And I will put a preface here if you do happen to watch this as a recording in the future. This is a training that you could follow any time of year when you're feeling especially crunched for time, feeling like maybe you aren't managing your time particularly well. You've got a lot of stuff coming up that you know is going to keep you busy, but you want to make sure that your business doesn't suffer as a result. So we're going to focus on two top level objectives here. The first being to grow. I want to get new clients this month. I want to increase my revenue this month. I want to make more sales in this coming month. The other top level goal could be to maintain, right? So I have an operating business. I am about to be really busy, or I have some big projects that I want to work on. Right. So for those of you who are in AttractWell, maybe building out systems for launching things in the new year, perhaps you're using your month of December to focus on that internal work. So you'd be maintaining your business, right? So from there, we want to write out what we know we want to accomplish within the next month, being reasonable with ourselves, understanding that there are demands of our time and we need downtime, right? We're not trying to wear ourselves out. We're not getting into toxic hustle culture here. We want to be reasonable with how we set our goals. And just remind yourself gently that this might not be the time of year for you to start something new. It may be the time to really cocoon and build up the thing that you want to launch in the new year, right? So with the right approach, you can set yourself up to do that, to launch into the new year with solid habits and systems that you put into place in the coming month here. So with our goal set, we're either going to maintain our existing business and work on other things or be busy in our personal lives, or we are going to focus with the time we have available on growing the business, right? So now we're going to create a plan. So the examples that we're going to follow are going to be for the maintenance of an existing business, and then for the growth of our business. I'm keeping this really simple for you guys because you really do need to choose to look at this simply. You're either looking to keep your business as it is while you work on other things, or you're looking to grow it, right? It's one or the other. We're going to pick one and move forward. All right. So all of our work is going to fall into one of these categories. One is going to be engagement. Then there's your pipeline. This is your lead or sales pipeline, how you actually bring new business in. There is the work that you are already committed to or need to have time allotted to commit to for new clients or existing clients. And then you have your projects. These are all of the things that your business needs, whether that is developing a new section of your public website, creating a new course, creating things for your new course, right? Whatever that might look like. Okay. These are our 4 categories. And we're going to allot our available time based on our goal to either maintain our existing business or to grow the one that we have or that we're starting. Okay. So first thing that we're going to do in the category of engagement, we're going to outline our actions that we'll be taking. Now, for this category, the entirety of the labor spent on this category of engagement, we are going to plan to batch our work, meaning group like activities together. So if you need to create images for social posts, you're doing those all at once. You want to create copy, you do it all at once. And then you're going to post and schedule, et cetera, right? We want to batch and automate as much of this as we can so that we can spend our time on things that move the needle, right? The more important things that get us closer to our goals. And of course, the things that move, move you more toward the place that you want to be, right? So our engagement is going to fall into the categories of customers and clients. Here, we're going to outline the number of emails that we need to send out either per week or per month. And this is strictly, again, for engagement, right? So this is keeping people abreast of what's going on, announcements that you may want to share, or any other kind of content that you already plan to send to your customers and clients on a weekly or monthly basis. So go ahead and figure out what are the number of emails. We're going to write that down. Then for your audience, this includes your list as well as your following on social media. What are the number of emails that you're going to send out per week or per month? And what is the number of posts you will be putting onto your social profiles per week or per month? Again, this is for the purpose of engagement. Now, if you are someone who is looking to maintain, or you are someone who is looking to grow, these are going to look really similar. For your audience, you want to make sure that you are emailing your list at least once per week. So there you go, 4 weeks in a month, typically, you're going to be sending out that many emails. You need to be, again, whether it's maintenance or engagement, you're going to need to be showing up usually about once a day on your social platforms with posts to keep things moving, to keep your engagement maintained. And then finally, depending on how you run your business, you may or may not send out regular emails to customers and clients, but you are going to want to make sure that you have those accounted for in this category of actions. Now, moving into this next category, this is an obviously critical one because this is the actual work that we do, right? Now, we are going to be doing some calculations here of your time and how you allot your time in your schedule. But that allotment is going to be something that happens after you have subtracted the amount of time you need for your clients. Right? So if you have clients and you know how many hours you need to spend with each one in the coming month, you're going to be able to total those up, right? If you plan to have a goal to get a certain number of new clients into your business in the next month, you will of course want to, in kind, account for the amount of time you're going to need to spend with them and add that to the total, right? So based on your current client load and your goal number of clients, calculate the amount of time that's necessary for you to serve those clients, right? These are the people who have paid you and who will pay you. If you are working with clients one-on-one, this is especially critical. If you're doing done-for-you work, this is equally critical. If your offer is something that's more leveraged, then maybe you're looking at the amount of time you are spending engaging inside of your vault or getting onto your live calls with them, etc. And then when you calculate how you spend your time, you're going to be subtracting this number first. Before you determine how much time you spend on everything else, this is subtracted first, because obviously if you aren't setting aside enough time to take care of your clients, what on earth are you doing in your business, right? All right, so this is a very critical set of actions, and this is going to be important for you whether you are maintaining or growing your business, and that is the actions in your pipeline. This needs to be allotted for you if you plan to focus on growth. This needs to be 70% of your non-client working hours. If you are looking to maintain your business, it needs to be 30%, ideally closer to 50%, depending on how your business is set up, of your non-client work. Your pipeline, especially if you are in the early stages of developing a list and a following and influence where opportunities can abound for you on a more passive basis, you are going to be engaging in your business more actively, right, in the beginning. So if you are someone who does not have a big following, a big list where you're pitching things to your list, you really want to make sure that you are being realistic about the need for you to be in your business working on your pipeline for the majority of the time. You will be able to, over time, build up the reality of having clients come to you, attracted to you, but that is on the other side of pushing this snowball up the hill. It does require your personal presence yeah, just want to make sure that that is something that's super clear. All right. So for our pipeline, we're going to begin so that we can establish how much time we're spending and what actions we're taking specifically. We're going to establish a goal of the number of new clients or sales we plan to make in the next month. From there, we need to estimate the number of offers made to reach that goal. If you've been a part of my other trainings, this would be also exposure to a conversion event, right? So how many people need to watch your sales video, visit your sales page if you're working with a more leveraged model? But if you are offering services or one-on-one client work, you are going to want to follow this exactly as I'm sharing it, right? So what's the number of new clients you want to get in the next month? What are the number of offers that you estimate you might need to make to leads in order for you to get those yeses? And then how many appointments do you figure you might need to make in order to make that many offers? Because you obviously, you could have a call with somebody and figure that what you're selling is not maybe a fit for them, right? And then we want to estimate the number of conversations that we need to initiate and follow through on in order to get onto an appointment, to make an offer, and then ultimately to seal the deal and get the client, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to set a goal number of conversations that we can start and re-engage on a weekly basis so that we can hit our goal number of new clients, right? So we're working backwards. How many new clients do I want to get in the month of December? I want to get 3 new clients. In order for me to get 3 new clients, I need to have offered whatever it is that I'm selling to at least 6 people, right? Which means I need to definitely meet with at least 10 people. And in order for me to sit down with at least 10 people, how many people do I need to start conversations with, right? Maybe 30, right? And we can break that down into how many conversations we need to start on a daily or weekly basis, right? As we are filling our pipeline on this manual basis, which again, majority of us here are in the early stages of our business. Understand that this isn't how you're necessarily going to scale forever in your business, but as you are in the growth phase, and certainly as you are in the early maintenance stages of your business, these remain absolutely necessary activities to focus a great deal of your time on. And that's why AttractWell at its core has a contact manager, right? Now let's talk about projects. This is the exciting stuff that you usually tune into our weekly work sessions, our AttractWell office hours here to learn. That is going to be your funnels. It's building all of the cool stuff with your website. It's all of the amazing things that you can do with our platform. Now, if you are focusing on growth, this needs to be less than 25% of your allotted time after you have subtracted out your client hours. If you are in the maintenance phase, you can actually spend 50% or more of your time on these projects, right? So if you're looking to just maintain your business, then you can spend a great deal more time here. All right. But you do have to make sure you are still, again, spending time in that pipeline, following through with those specific numbers that you're establishing, et cetera. All right. So for our projects, to outline our action steps here, we first need to specify what the projects are that we want to complete this month. And of course, if we have an existing project, we can choose that in progress priority project. Once you've identified it, we want to make sure that we're clear on exactly what's needed to complete the project. What you don't want to do is say, I want to build an online course, and then you go into AttractWell and you start building a vault, and then you go, oh, oops, what do I need now? Right? You want to make sure that you've got a clear picture of exactly what you need to move forward so that you aren't trying to do 2 things at once, right? You aren't trying to learn while you are implementing, right? So determine what's needed. So we're going to outline the steps or the elements that are required, and then gather the resources that you need to get those steps accomplished. That'll help you stay focused, right? So that way you aren't jumping in between replays on YouTube and creating the next step in whatever the process is that you're working on. And if at any point you feel like, especially in the context of AttractWell, you are unclear on what steps or elements are required to complete a project that you're working on, absolutely please consult the AttractWell Success Academy, our help center. And of course, you could always go to a call like this one, ask your questions here on the call. You could go to our Facebook group, or you could go to support@attractwell.com. And we are able to tell you, if this is what you want to do, you need a this and a this and a this and a that. And that way you can walk into that project clear-headed with a list of exactly what you need, right? Then we're going to, once you know what you need, we want to break down the labor for the project into separate categories. This is critical for managing your time well. Context switching, which is moving between different ways of engaging your brain and using your time, is a big killer of productivity. And so what we want to do, for instance, is to break down, if you're doing a project in AttractWell, you're typically going to have 3 categories here where we've got our copy, or what you say, our images, what you see, and then the design and the setup or the user experience of whatever the thing is that you're creating. So you don't want to be trying to come up with your copy while you're creating your images, right? Come up with the copy, then create the images. So you're spending your time maybe using Write with AI and AttractWell and building your copy inside of like a word processor that you'll keep and save for the project. And then you'll go into Canva and then you'll create all of the images that you need and you'll have all of that done. And then you can take both of those things to AttractWell and build out the thing that you need, right? It's a much more efficient way to work. You won't be chasing your tail with this and needing to find another solution and so on. You'll actually be able to get things done. All right, so now we're clear on what we want and what we need to do to get it done. We need to plan for how we spend our time. So first things first, how much time do you have available to focus on work during the coming weeks? The reason why we're having this call today, and this is the topic, is because the month of December is often incredibly busy for us, right? The entire sort of end of the year holiday season, it doesn't matter what you celebrate, you're probably busy, right? And there's probably a lot more on your calendar, things that are needed of you from a personal standpoint, right? For your family, et cetera. So we want to make sure that we are looking at this from a balanced perspective and not blending too much together, right? Because when everything starts getting mushed together, it's hard to stay focused, and that creates stress, right? So first, determine how much time you actually have. You're going to go into your favorite digital calendar of choice. That might be the one that's native to your device, or maybe it is a Google Calendar. It's totally up to you, but a digital calendar, I think is absolutely necessary for this. We're going to block our time off on that calendar. So if you know that these are the windows of time you have available to work for this week and that week and the next, et cetera, you're going to go in and block them. And for now, you're just going to call them work. Okay. We're going to make adjustments to that a little bit later, but you're going to start off by blocking it and calling it work. Okay. And go ahead with those blocks that you have determined are available. You're going to add up the total available hours that you have to work. Okay. So maybe over the course of the entire next month, you have an average of about 15 hours available, right? Maybe that's 3 days with 5 hours, or it's spread out in any kind of various configurations. So we've got our total available hours. We are first going to subtract those hours we have calculated for our client work, right? So if you have clients that you're serving and you're meeting weekly and you meet with them for an hour and you need about a 15-minute window before and after to take your notes and send out anything that you need to send to them after your appointment, et cetera, then you are going to want to make sure those things are blocked first, right? Whether the appointments currently exist on your calendar or not, you do have to make sure that you have those things set aside. You have that time set aside so that you can work with those clients, right? And this, again, is going to work the same for you if you are working in a more leveraged format, where maybe you are having weekly calls for a group, and then maybe you're spending a certain amount of time engaging and communicating inside of your private group for those folks. Subtract this time, because this is obviously the time that is already paid for, it's already spoken for. Then we're going to allot the remainder of our time into those action categories that we've talked about, right? So here's an example. If you had 60 hours, that's for your entire month of December. In engagement, we're going to spend, whether you are maintenance or growth focused, 5 hours, right? Because we're sending the same amount of emails, we're posting the same amount of stuff on social media, we're going to spend 5 hours, okay? And honestly, this is something that you could really anticipate for like on an ongoing basis. If you could get down to 5 hours or less per month on the total of engagement that needs to be sent out on social and to your list, you would be well served, right? So we want to aim for this little time. Then our client work. Obviously, this is going to vary based on your business and how you serve. But let's just say we have 7 clients who have a call with us like once a month. And so there are going to be 7 hours that are allotted for here for our existing clients. I have a goal to get 3 new clients. So I'll need to allot those 3 hours as well. Obviously, this isn't perfect math. This would probably be fewer than 7 clients, fewer than 3 clients, because we do need to account for, this is for the month. Sorry if I didn't specify, this is for the month, this example, 60 hours for the whole month. If we're meeting with clients once a month, that's 7 hours. Obviously, if you meet with your clients more often, you would want to calculate this accordingly, right? So you may find, based on your business, depending on how you work, that, 20 hours or more of your time of the 60 that's available is going to be spent on your clients, because that's what they've paid for, that's what they've committed to, right? But make sure that you are, of course, very importantly, factoring in all of the time that it takes for you to serve them adequately. Okay. Now to lead pipeline, our activities here, if we are in maintenance mode, if we have 60 hours to work on for the entire month, then we will spend 12 hours for the month on our lead pipeline, right? Those are all of those activities that get us into conversations, that get people onto our calendar, and then of course, ultimately into our business as clients. For growth, you're going to spend significantly more, right? Chances are, if you're focused on growth, you might not have a lot of clients, right? And so you're going to be spending the majority of your time compared to everything else on your pipeline, so that you have more of those opportunities available for you. And then finally, projects, right? And so projects here are going to include these are going to include, maybe, for instance, if you want to build more leverage into how you serve your clients, then this could be creating an onboarding system for your clients, right? If you have content is a significant piece of your business, that's actually going to fall into I would say a slightly different category here. It would be somewhere between your engagement and your lead pipeline. It is actually building for your lead pipeline, so I would pop that in there. But obviously spend quite a bit less time on that than I would on conversations. But anyway, the systems that you create that help you to do more and do better, those are going to fall into projects, right? So how you spend your time on building stuff that your business needs. So if you are in maintenance mode and you aren't spending a ton of time on your pipeline, and maybe you aren't necessarily spending a ton of time with clients, you've got enough time for your clients, you can actually devote the remainder of that time to your projects, right? That's where you can actually really, in the month of December, maybe level up, right? And be ready to move into the new year with systems in place to grow really effectively. And of course, if you are focused on getting your numbers up, getting your business off the ground, getting new clients, then you might want to scale back, in this case, 13 hours for the entire month on projects, right? So you can kind of see the split here. I did talk about percentages in those previous slides, and that's kind of what we're applying here. We take the entirety of the number of hours that we have available, first subtract the hours you need to take care of your clients who have already paid or who you anticipate paying, and then you break up the remainder into the prioritizing the lead pipeline or projects, depending on whether or not you're in growth or maintenance. And then, of course, creating the situation where you have as little time as necessary, where you're focused on engagement, because that obviously is not going to move the needle as quickly as the other activities. All right. So once we've got this figured out, we had already gone to our digital calendar, right? And we've blocked off the periods of time that we've called work. Now we're going to actually create events on our calendar. We're going to revise that digital calendar during those blocks of time so that we are only working on one type of activity at a time, right? So this is going to be a project funnel, right? And maybe even breaking that down into project funnel Canva, project funnel copywriting, project funnel AttractWell setup, right? Break those down into periods of time, knowing that, of course, it is your schedule and nobody's going to, get on to you for moving outside of the lines, coloring outside of the lines here, but you do want to set a framework in place for yourself so that you can put those bumpers on the lanes here so that you don't fall off with what you're doing. Another thing that can help you to stay on task when you are working in this way is to go ahead and work ahead of time. Once you've got this plan put together roughly that we're talking about here today, create an additional document that has links to the resources that you'll need to reference, whether that be links that you would be sending to someone in a conversation to book a call with you. Maybe that is, a collection of resources, videos, articles, etc., from AttractWell that might help you with the specific goal that you have to create a funnel or a member area, etc. Make sure that you know where you can go to get what you need so that you aren't spending that active time trying to find answers when you really want to be actually doing the labor of getting things done, right? This will help us to focus, stay focused, and actually accomplish what we showed up to do. And what we're doing here is batching the kinds of work that we're doing so that we aren't switching context, right? When you're creating a page in AttractWell, for instance, you really ought to, ideally, if we're working optimally, you ought to have more or less determined the copy that you want to use, more or less created the images that you'd like to use, right? And then you can go in and set up and design the page that you want. But if you find yourself deciding first, I'm going to build a page because I need to sell something, and you don't have images that reference the thing that you're selling yet, we started our work in the wrong order, right? So make sure that you've got a clear line of everything that you need and focus on one thing at a time. Do the Canva stuff first, right? Then get into the Write with AI and AttractWell and work out a rough draft of your copy. And then you can go in. And that's not to say that you might not need to go back to Canva and make some changes, right? But you are separating the type of work that you're doing. It will make you more effective. It will make you more efficient. All right. The goal here is to stop multitasking, because the worst thing that you can be doing while you're designing a page is simultaneously picking up the phone when you got a notification from Facebook or your email or whatever that might be, right? We don't want to have a life where the business that we chose is the one that has us putting out fires all the time, right? And multitasking and stopping multitasking, rather, is the key to moving out of that space. All right. Finally, we want to sanctify our schedule. So the first thing you're going to want to do here is to create space for the work that you're doing, literally and physically, right? So we want to isolate yourself physically as much as possible and isolate yourself digitally from distractions. Depending on the device that you use, there are great options, some of them built in. So Apple devices have screen time, for instance. I am absolutely in love with a software called Rescue Time. I've used it for like 6 years. It's like a digital nanny for me. If I'm doing focused work, it will block everything, including apps on my computer that do not serve what I'm doing at that point in time. And I'm talking about including messages, Slack, email, etc. It will not let me go and shop on Amazon or go to social media or whatever, right? So you can use tools to help you with this. And if you are someone who is prone to distraction, which most of us are, consider leveraging the tools available to you to protect and really sanctify the time that you're creating here. You also want to make sure that you're planning for breaks. If you haven't done so already, I highly recommend you check out the Pomodoro technique or the Pomodoro method. Pomodoro obviously means tomato in Italian, and it refers to a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, right? So any kitchen timer will do. But essentially what you're doing here is you are setting periods of time where you're working maybe for 45 minutes, an hour, etc. And then you are taking a break for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how you're setting that up. Oh, Sonia, it's called Rescue Time. And it's all one word. All right. So from here, we want to be productive, not projective. Sorry, I missed this typo here. We want to be protective of our working hours. So what that means is we are going to not do multiple things in those working hours. We have worked hard here on our call today, and the work that you'll be doing from this call to create specific space and time for you to get things done. So multitasking is how you don't get things done, right? It's how you can get everything done just a little bit, but not really move forward. So make sure that you are unitasking. Do one thing. Block your time off to work on one thing at a time, and try to focus, especially this time of year, on saying yes a little less often. especially for new commitments and meetings that are not specifically in line with your goals. And then finally, get your family or your team, depending on what your working environment looks like, on board to support the boundaries that you need to put in place. Share what your schedule looks like with them. Have some kind of a visual indicator for, I am busy, do not interrupt me, right? There are cool things you can put like a, open for business, closed for business kind of thing. You can even clip onto your laptop if you're like working in the same room as somebody to indicate visually, I should not be distracted right now, right? Or hang a sign on a door, whatever it is that you need to do. But take the time to get everybody on board with you. Obviously, the folks who support you are going to be able to do so. If you're using digital tools, then you are obviously going to be able to be protected from any of the notifications. Mark says Be Focused is also a good app for time management. You guys feel free in the chat to share what you love and use, because this is definitely an important topic for most of us in this day and age. All right, so let's recap what we covered here. The first thing we want to do is establish our goals for the remainder of the year. High level, let's get clear first. Am I trying to keep the business that I have? Am I trying to grow the business that I have? Right? And if our goal is to grow the business that we have, we want to, again, be mindful and know that when we are focused on growth, we are going to be spending a little bit less time on the other stuff, namely projects, right? But if you are focused on maintaining the business you have, then you can, of course, increase the time that you're spending on your projects or your personal life, whatever that looks like for you. Then we want to outline and quantify the actions that are needed from us in order to reach those goals, right? In all of those different categories that we've talked about. Then we'll determine how much you will work and how much work you will allot during that time, right? For the different categories that we're focusing on. We will then block our schedule to work on one category at a time. We'll batch our work into like categories to avoid multitasking and context switching. And then we'll stick to our schedule. Guys, good boundaries is good self-care. This is an important time of year to focus on the intrinsic factors, right? Focusing on taking care of yourself, obviously nurturing the vessel that is what serves your clients. So definitely make sure that you understand, even if you are someone who is a service-hearted, service-minded person who maybe struggles to set hard boundaries, right? That you definitely make sure that you are doing this for you. And if you need to contextualize this in your mind, trick yourself into doing this, just remember that doing this for yourself means doing this for others, because you're going to be able to show up better for your clients and for the purpose that you're here for if you are taking good care of you, right? Having those boundaries is self-care. Alicia asked, is this where I should be for the individualized office hours, or is that a separate video conversation? You are in the right place for that. So if you if you want to come into the Q&A and just pop down there that you're here for the live one-on-one, and I'll make sure to get to you just as soon as we're done with our slides here. All right, so if you are ready, you guys, to have your best year yet, right? We have just a few weeks left in this year, and what we can do moving forward here is set ourselves up for a phenomenal 2024. So if you are ready to do that, AttractWell has everything that you need to get it all done, and we have it all under one roof. So I want to share with you quickly, if you haven't seen these yet, this is our Black Friday promo. We have extended it through Cyber Week. As we are filming this right now, it is Thursday. It is the last day of November, and tomorrow is the last day you'll be able to take advantage of these. So this week, you won't just find the best deal on business tools, you'll also find the how-to and the support to put them to smart use. Stick around so that you can score big this season and set yourself up for your best year yet. So whether you're just getting started or you are a valued member of our AttractWell community, we have something here for you today. So we are giving away courses. Incredible value here. We've got lots of details on our website. I don't want to take up too much of your time here in outlining them. We're also giving away one-on-one calls with our experts. We're giving away domains for your website or email addresses, custom domain, free month of AttractWell, unlimited vaults and classes, and bonus marketing credits for your account. That's what you use to send out your messages to your list and to your clients. Now, if you're new to AttractWell, when you get started at any plan level, you're going to get the AttractWell Pipeline Igniter. And again, I do have more info on this on another page. Just for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to read through all of this. We're giving away the Client Funnel Challenge. This is one of our signature courses that will help you move prospects from curious to qualified to booked on autopilot, really eliminating a lot of your time spent. And then you also have the complete guide to build your course, program, membership, or community with AttractWell. This is complete step-by-step, everything that you need to know in order to build a client dashboard, memberships, group programs, courses, and more. We also have the Launch Challenge, which is an incredible guide that goes over the main systems in your business that you need to focus on to grow and maintain. And you will also be able to get, if you're getting started with us at basic or higher monthly, you have 3 months of free unlimited vaulting classes, 200 extra marketing credits per month, and it's only $1 for your first month. And if you're looking to save even more and get even more power for your growth, we have, for basic and higher annual plans, a month of AttractWell for free, unlimited vaulting classes for a year, 1,000 extra marketing credits per month for the life of your account, and you'll be able to brand your website with a complimentary domain or email address. And this is all backed with our 30-day money-back guarantee. You'll also get preferred pricing on migration and other concierge services. If you get started with us at annual premium or higher, then you do have access to a one-on-one tech consult. And we are giving away strategy consults with me. And this is for new annual pro and diamond members. So if you are interested in taking advantage of any of these, if you haven't gotten started with AttractWell yet, this is the best time of year to do it. Definitely head over to AttractWell.com now to learn more and get started. Now, if you're already a member of AttractWell, we have the 3-for-3 promo still running right now. You can get up to 3 one-on-one calls with our experts in the month of January just for referring your friends today. So anyone that you refer during this promotion, if there are 3 of those referrals still active in January, you get to access to those 3 calls or 1 call with me. And then finally, this is something I want to make sure everybody has seen. This is the AttractWell Impact Amplifier Academy. Right now, this is over 70% off, and we are including bonuses here that will never be seen for this academy again. You will get access to the Impact Amplifier Academy for life. This is powered by the proven Jawbreaker method that I have led clients through for the past decade. And it works, and it's simple, and it's logical, and it helps you to spend less time in your business while being more effective and showing up in the world in exactly the way that you need to, removing all of that guesswork that has us chasing our tails about what is my niche, who am I talking to, how do I brand myself, what do I put out there, and how do I move to scale my business. We will be offering, and this is only available through tomorrow, in addition to lifetime access to the Impact Amplifier Academy, 6 weeks of live small group coaching, right? So you're going to have access to calls. There will be a discussion. You'll be able to get feedback on what you're working on. And this really does include kind of holding hands with you and figuring out what it is that you need and breaking you through anything that's got you stuck. And there are bonuses included in this academy that are worth over $3,600. And look, this even includes like the price. It includes done for you services. Literally $500 worth of done for you services from our concierge team is included in the price. There are limited seats for this. I want you to go and check this out right now if you haven't done so yet. If you want to make 2024 your best year in business, check this out. You're not going to see a deal like this again. So these offers are live for a limited time. If you go to AttractWell.com, you can learn more about all of them. So thank you guys for your patience. Let's get into our live help and Q&A. Today we have Alicia signed up for a review. And I believe this is you, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you out to chat. Thank you for your patience, and tell me, how can we help you today?
Thank you, Ashley. So I'm brand new to AttractWell. I am switching over can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm switching over to AttractWell from Kajabi. I've been a member of Kajabi for about a year, and I am a part of Digital Course Academy with Amy Porterfield. And
Okay.
one of my peers recommended AttractWell, and I jumped on a call with her, and she was just going through all of the different things that you guys offer, and it's so much less expensive than Kajabi. And so anyways, I decided to try it out and realized that the support is so much better on AttractWell, and that's really big for me. I'm not a super techie person. I'm busy, and I wasn't getting the support I needed from Kajabi. So my biggest questions right now are how to move my current courses over to Kajabi, or from Kajabi to AttractWell,
Mm-hmm.
and then how to set up a um what is it called? Like a sign up page or a um registration page for my new course that will be hosted only in AttractWell. And then the last one is to move my email list over from Kajabi to AttractWell.
Okay, yeah. So you have actually outlined these in the exact order that you need to follow them. Number one,
Okay, awesome.
that's good. My first question for you though is, do you have people currently in the courses being served in the courses in Kajabi right now?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what you're going to want to do first is move your content. So the content migration is what you want to do first. And then you can actually, sort of as a sub-step here, you can go ahead and move over the people who are currently in Kajabi and being served there over to AttractWell just as soon as you've got that built out, right? So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and we do have the How to Build Your Online Course. That is 100% going to be the most important place for you to start, because it does have those sort of bite-sized step-by-step. You'll find this in the Success Academy because you've signed up here. This is going to be right here. How to Build Your Online Course, right? So that's this one here.
Okay.
You'll be able, because you're a member, you'll be able to get access to this. And it does kind of go through like sort of the ideation and creation process, but you'll be able to move ahead to the other sections where it's talking about what you do first and what you put where, etc. But generally speaking, if you're migrating from Kajabi, and we have had a lot of people do this, the first thing you're going to want to do is download your videos from Kajabi and get those uploaded into your video manager in AttractWell, right? Because I assume a lot of your content is going to be in video format. So
Yes.
I would do that first.
Okay.
And then essentially the order of operations when you are creating an online course, or the one that I recommend, it's not, I know I speak authoritatively, but I understand I'm not the only right person in the world. What I prefer to do is to build the class first. So you're starting with the end, right? And so the ultimate thing that somebody is going to access in your course or program is the sort of sequence of content, which is your course. And this is going to be the part that is probably most similar. We're not super duper similar to Kajabi in terms of like this setup and how it works, but it's similar enough. So what you'll do here, and since you already have an existing class or an existing course, you already know what you have in sort of each part. What you're going to do is I would recommend using this from my own outline.
Okay.
And then what you'll do here is you'll title it, right? And then you're actually able to go ahead and create a skeleton for your entire course. So maybe that's split up into modules. You've got names for the modules. You've got names for the lessons. Maybe you allow discussion and you've got a prompt, right? And then you've got whatever copy that you want to have in the description, which again, you may already have in Kajabi. So this kind of skeleton allows you to import all on one screen. It's going to save you a ton of time. So essentially what I would do is have another tab, or even another, ideally if you have space for it on your desktop, another window open where you're just copying, pasting, and building this out so that you've got the skeleton.
Okay.
Once that's created, then you're going to go in, and I'll actually I'll actually go into the Jane account and I'll show you how to, like what that'll look like once you've got some stuff in there. Because once you've got the class created, then you're going to want to actually go into the class itself and complete the setup. So maybe that will be this one here.
Okay.
And so what you'll see is you'll see the class name because you've already created it, and you'll see all of the stuff here, right? If you've specified like, you know, the module names and the titles. So then you'll go into the individual ones. And this is where you can select your videos. And of course, if you've already uploaded your videos, which would be that first step, you can pop them in here. Your copy will have populated here, but if you want to format it, right, if you want to add any kind of rich formatting to it, you could certainly do that. If you have like a PDFs, downloads, etc., you can put those here. And of course, if there's anything more that you want to do to the copy for the conversation starter, you can do that here as well. And you're going to do that for all of your lessons. You do have the option as well, if you want to kind of create sort of side list for yourself, if you want to make, you know, pretty images so that there's like one for each lesson, visually when folks are in the program itself. You can create those maybe in a single Canva file and then upload them, and then you can get those popped in here. And we do have the dimensions stated here. And then once you've got this online class created, you want to get the branding set up. So this is where you're going to have a cover photo. A main photo is going to be fairly similar to what you have in Kajabi. You'll put your summary in, your about, and then you can make, you know, again, just the visual modifications. I would just go ahead and get as much done as possible to this, because I think that because you have used another platform previously, it'll benefit you to kind of see it in progress as well, right? So the next step that you can take, and this is a step that you could optionally take when you were creating the skeleton, is to create a vault. And because basically in AttractWell, you have a container that is the member area. And so that's the password protected part of your website. And then inside of the member area, there are only certain shapes that fit in that hole. They're called vaults. And the vaults are where your courses are held. So course A would be in Vault A, course B in Vault B, etc. And then what we're creating here is the class. And that is where you deliver the sequential content. So inside of vaults, you can have classes. You can have more than one of these. You can have discussion rooms, you can have pages that are just like any page on your website, and any number of those that you would choose to have. So I'm going to actually show you what this one looks like, just as a live class. And so you can actually kind of see, right, begin your journey to a life by design. We can actually go back here and see where is that, right, if you want to kind of correlate. This part here that shows up on the side, that's right here. And you could even put things like videos here if you wanted to, that would show up over here. And then of course, again, it's not a very nice background image, but you've got a background image, you've got the main image, etc. And then you can see these, all of the class content here. And this is as your client would see it. Now, depending on how you have your class set up or your course set up to deliver, you do have a choice here as well to modify, you know, whether or not they have to be accessed in order, if you're dripping them over a number of days, if they're date released, or if they're just all unlocked when somebody gets started. So that kind of completes our step 2, right? So step 1, bring videos. Step 2, create the class. Step 3 would be to create the vault and its payment options. And again, all of these are gone over in detail in that How to Build Your Online Course, as well as help articles. And then I would bring your people over who are currently in it, potentially, if you want. And then you can build a front door, right? Because you don't need to have.
How do you bring them over? Like the people who already have purchased on Kajabi, how do I bring them over to AttractWell?
Yeah. So what you're going to do is here, let me actually show you where you would find an article for that. So over here under help, we would type in import. So like importing contacts, right? So you're going to be, here we go, uploading or importing contacts. This article here will walk you kind of through it. But basically what you're going to do is in Kajabi, you're going to export a CSV file of those customers. And then you're going to import them into your AttractWell account. And when you do, you have the opportunity to apply a tag, right? And that tag, you're going to want to maybe call it purchased course name Kajabi, right? So that you can indicate that these are people who have been with you since they were on the other platform.
Okay.
Right. And then you can, of course, in that vault, you would be able to add people to it as well. And again, in the How to Build Your Online Course, we do talk about sort of curating the course experience that you want, which would include things like what's the email that they get when they join, right? So that is definitely something that you'll want to have in place in creating the vault. But once you have the vault created and set up the way that you want, and you're ready to go ahead and bring in the people who had already purchased from you, then you can actually go to the vault. And then you can actually see who's in it, right? You should definitely maybe get in, check it out, poke around, make sure that it looks the way that you want it to. But one of the things that you can do with your contacts is to maybe filter for those people who bought from you previously. So I'm going to go to filters. And so this is where you would put in your Kajabi client or something like that. So I'm going to type in client. And one of the actions that you can perform here is to, under bulk contact actions, add them to that vault, which is where your course is.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and if you've set up the vault with the email to go out automatically and everything, as is taught in the How to Build Your Online Course, they'll automatically get the email that tells them here's how you set up your login, etc.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now the final thing, and this is the front door, how you sell it. You have two options. One of those is going to be attached to the vault itself, which is a fine, simple option. It's also the option that you'll need to choose if you have payment plans or a recurring payment for the vault. But if it's a one-time payment, you can also create a sales page. And we actually have, if we go back over here to, I'm going to go back to the AttractWell Success Academy. If we go to Success Academy and we go to these live training and replays and we type in sales page, you'll actually see that there are trainings on our YouTube channel that talk about this, but very specifically, we've got a template for it. So okay. This is, you can actually go over here, and in the description, we actually have a link to a resource bundle, which when you claim it, if you're logged into your AttractWell account, it'll actually take you right in. And then there's a Canva template even that you can open and use. And so this will actually import the template right into your account.
Okay. Do you mind going back to that just so I can see it and write it down? So it's the sales page for coaches and what?
Yeah. So you can actually just, in the Success Academy, you can just search sales page right here.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll actually take you to the query specifically on our YouTube channel, where it'll show different options.
Okay, perfect.
And then, like I mentioned, the simple way to do that, if you wanted to not create a sales page, but you want to just have like an option for people to purchase at the vault level, you can do that as well. And matter of fact, here, I'll show you an example of what this looks like. This might work. It might not, because I'm logged in as an administrator. So maybe not. Nope, this is it. So for the Impact Amplifier Academy, this is what you guys were learning about earlier, where you can get started. This is an example of a sales page that is set up right here, right? So I've got a video here, I've got details, people can enter their information and check out. And that is set up, if you go into your vaults, where is that? How about this one? Why not? If we go into our vaults, it's under payment setup. And then you could require a payment, and then you can actually use this section like a sales page and put whatever you want to have here. And that'll show up in the left-hand column of the page there, where they can read whatever you've shared and then ultimately make the decision to check out on that page.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that all?
So let me just make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So to move my whole email list over, not just the people that have purchased, that's the same thing as the people that have purchased. It's the CSV file import into AttractWell.
Yes, with one caveat. If you already have your list segmented, then you will want to create separate CSV files for each of those segments. So that way, for instance, if you've got your list segmented into, I mean, basically, if you have tags on your contacts in your existing contact manager, maybe they fall into different categories and you want to retain those as segments for your list, you just want to make sure that you are exporting a CSV for each one of those instances so that, and of course, when you're importing into AttractWell, you're applying the tag so that you are able to keep all of those designations on your contacts where you want them.
Okay. Okay.
And it does deduplicate. So you don't have to worry, like if one person has like 5 tags, you're uploading CSV 5 different times and that person's on the list, they're only going to be in your contact manager once. It's just going to update the tags on that contact when you do that.
Perfect. So I have my website linked to Kajabi right now. And so not only my domain name, but my homepage is on Kajabi, like my whole website. And I know there's a way to set it up on AttractWell as well. Do you have a resource for me to do that, to migrate my actual website over onto AttractWell?
Yeah, so there's a couple of options here. Tell me about your homepage on it. I mean, is it just a page or is it maybe a handful of pages? What does that look like on Kajabi right now?
Yeah, I can actually just tell you what I have, and then you can tell me what can come and what can't. So so this is where currently all my lead magnets are on, all my courses are on. So like when you open my homepage, it is there's a lead magnet on the top, and that is just like my basic lead magnet for adding people to my list.
Do you have a link that you might be able to share with me either in the Q&A or in the chat?
Yeah, actually, yes. So just the Q&A.
Okay.
So
oh yeah, you could absolutely replicate all of this on AttractWell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I just have, and then is that something where I have to like rebuild it on AttractWell, or do you guys have templates for home pages? How does that work?
So yeah, we do have lots of built-in templates for pages, but essentially you could recreate this pretty simply. I mean, almost exactly and pretty easily. And essentially what you would be doing, and this is how I would do this. So we're looking at the homepage right now, and you would repeat this process for each one. But this is my cheat code. If you have an existing page, and by the way, concierge services can get this done for you very quickly if you wanted to just hand it off. But if you wanted to make sure that, if you wanted to do this yourself, essentially what you would do is you go and create a new page. And this is where you can actually find lots of great templates. But you already have a website and you kind of want it to be similar to the things that people are used to seeing because you've already built it, right? So in that case, we can just go from a blank page. And then what we're going to do is kind of we're going to build a skeleton of this page using the formatting sections that you have here. So for instance, this is a single column. This is 2 with an image on the left. This is a 2-column section. This is a 2-column with the image on the right? So we can actually go through and create a skeleton, and you can just start moving your stuff over. So that first section, your hero section, is going to be a 1-column, no header. And of course, here you're going to, take this copy here and definitely paste plain text wherever you want to copy something that you have existing.
Okay.
We're going to paste that into the document. You can center it, you can make it bigger, etc. Play around with it, make it look as similar as you want it to. You would also, of course, be getting that image that you used here and put it as the background of the section using this guy right here. So that's that part. And you can add a button, which let's just go ahead. I'll show you how to do that as well. Under add element, you want to add a nice big one. So There it is. We can center him,
Okay.
right? And then our next section is image on the left, text on the right. So we can do that here, right? And then we can create another one. That's a 2-column section. And so you're just basically building a section that, building a page of sections that mirror what you have currently.
Okay.
And there's the other one here where we're just doing the opposite mirror of that one. And then, yeah, just basically going in and making those changes, swapping out the text, swapping out the images. So here's a 3-part with a header. We have one of those as well. And then you've got some testimonial sections, which are going to be like a smaller one and a bigger one alternating on either side. And we have those as well. So you're just basically using the section templates to create the sort of structure that you're looking for. And then you can just go in and swap out your images, swap out your text, change the background color. And then as you're doing it, you can preview and make sure that it looks great on mobile and, you know, these other devices. And we do have additional training on, you know, mobile optimization, designing for mobile, et cetera, if you wanted to get into any of those.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then my last question would just be, what is the lead magnet generation tool for AttractWell? So in Kajabi, they call it funnels, and basically it like creates a sign up page, and then it automatically sends an email with the free resource, and then it signs them up to your email list. Is that the same in AttractWell?
It's not. It's actually more modular than that.
Okay.
So you're going to, so tell me about your lead magnet. Is it a PDF?
That one is, yeah. So that one's a
Okay.
PDF. So they click on it, and it takes them to a thank you page, and it basically says, so they enter their name and email, and then when they hit send me my guide, it sends them to a thank you page with the download, and then it also emails them a download.
Got you. Okay. So there are just a couple more steps that you're going to use with AttractWell than what I think you're describing there, but it's also more customizable and it's more effective in getting you the leads that you want. So a couple ways you can do this. Number one, it can be something that you're linking to. So like this button, for instance, you could have lead and it could be a pop-up on this same page, right? So a pop-up on your website page where you can offer this free thing. You could also create a different page that maybe looks more like this, that you are sending them to from this button. Now, in order to deliver the lead magnet, we do need to have it in your system first. So the first step in your funnel is going to be to upload whatever the file is that you're giving away. So the PDF needs to live inside your account. So add that to your files section here in your content library. Then you're going to create a campaign. That's an email, essentially one email that you're going to send out that is going to link to this. So super, super simple. It's, hey, thanks for this. Thanks for opting in. I'm so excited for you to get this thing. Here it is. But the cool thing about this, and this is where it's quite different from, say, like a Kajabi and more customizable to you and how you want to use it to grow. Typically, what you want to do after somebody has opted in to get a free thing from you, you don't want to just give them the free thing. You want to back that up with a whole series of emails that drip over time that get them to take the next step with you, like buy your course or book a call with you or something like that, right? So the Client Funnel Challenge, which again is one of the resources available in the Success Academy here, that's going to give you the full rundown of the steps in order, including templates. But essentially the order of operations is to upload your lead magnet since you already have it, create the campaign that delivers the lead magnet, create a very, very simple page in your account that just says, I've sent I've sent what you wanted, go check your email. You don't want to give it to them right after they opted in because they could have given you a bad email address, right? So we don't necessarily want to put the free thing on the opt-in page. You can put a paid thing on, not the opt-in page, on the confirmation page. You can put a paid thing on a confirmation page if somebody paid first. But if they gave you bad contact info, that's not a lead and you don't want to give them the free thing, right? So, so you go to a confirmation page, again, just a really simple page on AttractWell. It could have a picture of the thing and say, it's on its way to you now, go check your email and add me to your safe senders list or whatever while you're at it. And then you'll be linking. So when you upload your lead magnet into the system as a file, that then becomes a link that you can share in an email, right? So you're going to put that in the email that goes out. Then the final step is to build the actual page or the form on your homepage, for instance, where folks will opt in, they'll put in their name and email. And there, when you're setting that up, and I'll show you an example of this. And I think Jane's homepage. Yes, so this one, she's offering, and I'll show you here real quick. She's offering a challenge. That's her free thing that she's giving away. And people can opt in right here. We could go to a separate page and do the same thing, share the same image, same copy, and have a form. But how this is set up is in the page settings. Under leads, you can choose whether or not the capture form is in a pop-up on the page or you don't use one at all. And then you can actually choose what it looks like. And then what fields, what information do you want to collect from them? And then after they register, we want to send them that campaign that has the linked file. We want to tag them with whatever we want to tag them with because they're now a lead in our system for that particular lead magnet. And then we want to send them to that confirmation page.
Okay, perfect. That was really, really helpful. I appreciate that.
Good. I'm glad we could help. And again, there are help articles and courses that will break it down slower into more comprehensive pieces that we obviously can't get into to that degree on a call like this. So I'm glad you could join us and welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Absolutely. I hope you'll come back and we want to see what you are doing with your site.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around, for all of your amazing questions, for being the inspiring people that you are, that really make us doing the work that we do meaningful, right? We love doing this work for you because you're out here making a difference in the world in your unique way. And we're just so excited to be able to provide you with the tools and the strategy and support to help you get it done. We'll be back next week, same time. Keep us abreast of what you're working on. Head over to our AttractWell Facebook group, meet the community, and share what you're working on. We look forward to seeing you next week, everybody. Take care.